Hello and welcome. This is another episode of Unplug. But before we get right into it, I want to ask a very important question. When will Nigerian students, Nigerian university students, get back to school? Very pertinent question, and I believe so many people are frustrated, so many people are probably losing their minds because they need to get back to school. For over a year now, they've been at home, and there was a lot of celebration because it seems like ASUU had already settled things with the government. But there is another issue that has popped up that wants to become a hindrance again. But we'll get back to that much later. Thank you once again for joining every Nnji on another exciting episode of Unplug. My name is Victor, and it's a pleasure to be here, bringing you all the updates from entertainment, politics, and everything it is across the globe. All right. First of all, we're going to start with BBNaija. And there's so much going on with so many of them. They always know how to stay in the news. And we'll be starting with Laycon, who just cannot seem to stop bagging the deals and endorsements. Laycon has become an ambassador for yet another brand. This time, wait for it, Laycon is now an ambassador for a condom company. Quite interesting, right? Well, he has alluded to the fact that he's interested in those things. I'm just going to put it that way. And apparently his supposed interest has bagged him more money. So congratulations to Laycon. And he said 12 p.m. today was going to be announcing what it is. Well, we have an idea right now, 12 p.m. We know what it is that Laycon is announcing, but you can go on his social media. Of course, he's going to have a message for his fans and everybody else. That is it. That is that about that. Now, let's move on to Nnji, who also has something of her own to celebrate. Nnji has hit 2 million followers on Instagram. Yes, Nnji Nengs, Nnji Pengi, so many names her fans call her, has hit 2 million fans on Instagram. Congratulations to Nnji. It's not easy. Of course, it shows that the love is still growing, and maybe from now on she can begin to look forward to 3 million and even more than that. So congrats once again to Nnji. Let's move away from Nnji now. More action from the BBNaija Season 5 Lockdown house, and this time it's Lucy. Lucy usually is in the news for her business, what she does as somebody in the stomach infrastructure business, so to speak. And this time her fans decided to gift her something. Because fans have this habit, BBNaija fans have this habit of going all out for their faves, to buy them stuff on their birthdays or whatnot. Well, it was not Lucy's birthday, but as a way to support her business, her fans bought her a generating set and a fridge as well. Of course, those are things that you would agree with me that somebody who does what she does definitely needs. So congratulations to Lucy. And I want to say something about the BBNaija fans. All this love is very, very good. Looking at what we've seen the likes of Laycon's fans, Dorathy's fans, and the rest of them do, it seems, well, it's good to love your fave, but then don't make it a competition. That's just my opinion, a message from me to you. Love your faves, but it doesn't have to be a competition, so it doesn't become unhealthy somewhat, all right? Congrats to Lucy once again, and this time, let's talk Wathoni. Wathoni also has her own thing going for her. She has a kiddies show, which she does from time to time, and she recently came out to thank Ozo. She took to Twitter to thank Ozo for his support for her show. And she announced that he posted the link to it and all of that. She was really grateful. She was like, thank you very much, Ozo, for coming through for me, for supporting what I do. Thank you so much. And it's good to see that all of them are supporting each other one way or the other. Maybe not all of them, but then they're always there for each other one way or the other. Still talking about these housemates supporting each other, Dorathy also did what she could to support Ka3na. You remember that they were friends in the house, Dorathy, Ka3na, and Lucy then, before Ka3na left quite early. And outside the house, the relationship has continued. Dorathy went to Ka3na's online mall because Ka3na owns an online mall, a more Ka3na, really big thing for her. Dorathy went on the mall and bought glasses worth 95,000 naira. Now, I'm not talking about glasses like a lot of glasses, but just one pair of glasses worth 95,000 naira. Now, we might not have known about it, but then Ka3na was really excited about it, and she posted something. She was like, Dorathy might kill me for exposing this, but she said, all die not die. I mean, she bought Chanel glasses worth 95k and paid for it up front. She was really excited and was grateful to Dorathy. So like I said before, it's good to see these housemates, coming through for each other and supporting each other. Let's hope it continues and we don't have beefs and the likes of them anymore. All right, moving on now, let's talk Prince. Well, first of all, Ibuki. Ibuki took to Twitter yesterday and said that it has been 8 years since he has been running one of his shows on TV, and it's the Robin Minds show. And he said, I don't talk tire. Those were his exact words. I don't talk tire. And a lot of people were in the comments saying all sorts of things. But then Prince quoted that tweet and asked the question, do you need a substitute? You remember that Prince was always saying back then in the house, even when he left, that he really wants to be like Ibuki. He wanted Ibuki to, take him under his wing and mentor him, so to speak, because he really loves what he does, wants to be like him. Maybe this is going to be his chance. We do not know yet. Ibuki has not really said anything about it yet. Ibuki has not responded, but Prince definitely has his eyes on the prize. He really wants to be in Ibuki's position, and let's see whether it's going to start from there or it's going to happen some other way. But Ibuki, of course, might have gotten the message, and we'll see what happens with Prince as time goes on. All right, now let's move away from that. Let's talk something a bit more serious. I started with a forlorn look on my face, and yes, it can really get annoying, it can get frustrating. The ASUU issue, of course, the students were at home for a year because of the strike. ASUU was negotiating with the government about payments and all of that. Now, they concluded all those negotiations, and students were getting ready to resume for this year. The date was set at 18th of January, but ASUU has come up with something else that is going to hinder the resumption of students, and that is COVID-19. The risk of the spread of the virus, and of course we know this is the second wave. So many people are coming down with the virus, the numbers are going up, there are so many more deaths, and they're saying they do not want this to continue in schools. That is why the schools cannot resume yet. More frustration for the students. It doesn't stop there. Still talking about the surge of the virus. It was just reported earlier today that 60 workers from the Lagos-Ibadan railway tested positive for the virus. 60 workers, and in my mind I'm like, wow, they could just shut down the entire facility. It is that serious. Apart from that, the government is also coming out to blame churches and some other churches and schools, yes, churches and schools in particular, for increasing the spread of the virus. And this is probably going to inform the decision not to open schools, because they feel, okay, the schools are hotspots for spreading the virus. But it's a very, very serious issue, and we hope that something can be done soon enough, because, I mean, how much longer are students, university students, going to stay at home? Still talking about the coronavirus, today marks the 1-year anniversary of the very first casualty of COVID-19. On this day last year, the very first death as a result of coronavirus was recorded, and that was in Wuhan, China. And there's so much to reflect on over the past year, and of course we know the whole world is still dealing with it. But all we can do now is just hope and pray that we find a way out of this terrible pandemic. Okay, now let's move on from that. Now let's talk Sowore. Omoyele Sowore was arrested on New Year's Eve because he staged a protest against bad governance, and he got arraigned in court and he was granted bail to the tune of 20 million naira. Now, just less than a couple of hours after he was granted that bail, he met his bail conditions and he was released. So Sowore is a free man now, but of course everything still continues. On the other hand, Eromoseli still talking bad governance, and this time in particular, NSAS, Eromoseli Adene, who was arraigned in court November last year, was granted bail, and of course was arrested yet again, and the saga just continues. This time his case has been adjourned until February because the court cited COVID-19 guidelines and COVID-19 restrictions and all of that as a reason why they cannot just rule on his case. And his counsel was very, very particular about the fact that nothing must happen to Eromoseli because he felt that there are threats to his life and there are people who are trying to manipulate things in court and all of that. So it was very particular that nothing must happen to my clients, and hopefully nothing does happen to Eromoseli. He's well protected and going to be in court again in February, just to see that an end comes to all of this. All right, now let's talk Donald Trump. This time, moving away from the entire Nigerian situation. Donald Trump, on the other hand, and what is going on in the United States. Of course, a lot of eyebrows have been raised, a lot of accusing fingers have been pointed to Trump and how he sort of instigated violence that took place some days ago at the Capitol. How the Capitol Hill was invaded and there was so much destruction, there were deaths even. As a reaction to this, a lot of organizations have stripped Donald Trump of honorary awards that he received. Awards and honors that he received for one thing or the other have been stripped of him completely. And that is not even all. An NFL coach, just talking something sports this time, an NFL coach decided that he's not going to accept a Medal of Honor from Trump because he is not comfortable, does not agree with everything that has been going on with Trump, how he incited violence in the United States. So people seem to be dissociating themselves from the man now because they do not want to have a hand in all these accusations that have been leveled against Donald Trump. And there's still so much more to come. Definitely, it's still an ongoing case in the United States. They're looking to impeach him, but whatever happens, we'll keep you updated here on Unplug. All right. Now let's move on now, and let's talk Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy interestingly joined one funny group that sprung up on social media yesterday. It was trending on Twitter, the Stingy Men's Association of Nigeria. Whatever informed the creation of that group, I cannot tell specifically, but it has been making the rounds on social media. We have even seen people print ID cards, Don Jazzy himself included. Stingy Men's Association of Nigeria ID card, with their pictures and even their designation, their branch, wherever they are in the country. Don Jazzy is the union head, the head of the union of the Stingy Men's Association of Nigeria. Whatever that is, I don't know, but men are trying to make a statement some way, somehow. It might all just be cruise, like they call it on social media. Everybody's just joking around and playing, but maybe in the midst of all the jokes, there is a subtle message being passed across to the ladies as well. Even the ladies have responded with Stingy Women's Association of Nigeria, but that's a story for another day. Okay, now this is just something for laughs, but please don't take anything too seriously on social media because, like I said, everything just will be cruise. Okay, now let's wrap it up with sports, where the FA Cup fourth round draws have held, and in what is arguably the biggest fixture of the draw, we're going to see Manchester United against Liverpool in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Now, Man United fans have been saying that they don't ever get it easy. Why didn't they get a small team? And questions are being asked, are they being targeted? But it's just a draw, it's just luck. I mean, they pick random names and all of that, random teams. So it's going to be Manchester United versus Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round when the time comes. But they're going to be in action tonight against Burnley in the Premier League, and they have the chance to go top of the Premier League table. Whatever that happens in that game, we'll definitely let you know on Unplug. Okay? So that is all we have for you on the show for today. Thank you so much for always being a part of the program. Don't forget to stay tuned to every Nnji. And until next time, my name is Victor. Goodbye.